Welcome to General Chemistry Lab. My name is Dr. Gartner. I'm the lead instructor for the lab sequence for General Chemistry. If you have any questions, problems, topics that are concerning that you're struggling through, or you just want to talk a little bit about the lab and what we're trying to do, go ahead. You can meet with me. You don't have to be your individual instructor, but you can come and contact me, and I love to talk about the labs or questions that you may have. This semester, what we're going to do is we're going to focus on this idea of having labs that are inquiry-based. Now, what does that mean? It means we're curious, and what we're curious about is we're curious about a challenge or a problem that is present around us in the scientific world and in our society. And this is not looking at chemistry through the viewpoint of this idea of having our lab be a cookbook. Okay, cookbook is, here's all the ingredients, here's all reagents, here's the steps you follow to make your cake or your pie or whatever you're making. And that's not what our labs are going to be. Our labs are going to be like a master chef who's been given a bunch of ingredients and they want to make something great. That's what we're going to do. We're going to be given the ingredients to try and solve a problem, try and solve a challenge that's provided to us. Now, whenever we're doing this, we're going to think, well, here's our challenge or our problem. What we're going to do is we're going to develop a hypothesis about that. Now, a hypothesis, right, is kind of an estimated guess or a decision about what we think is happening with this phenomenon or trying to answer this question, this problem. Now, in order for us to do that, once we have our hypothesis, what we're going to need to do to try and think about that hypothesis is we're going to have to collect some data, make some observations. Okay. Now, once we collect some data and make some observations, we're going to see, well, does it agree with our hypothesis? Does it not agree with our hypothesis? And we're going to see this is a very much back and forth kind of cyclical thing. Now, for us to be able to collect some data, we're not just going to give you, here's a bunch of instruments, here's a bunch of things, you figure it out, right? That's not our expectation. Our expectation is that we are going to also learn a lot of great lab techniques. Okay, and these lab techniques are going to give us the ability to collect data, to make some great observations. Okay, and we're going to see this is going to continue to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and trying to address or think about this problem that hopefully we're a little bit curious about in our labs. Now, as we do this, what we're going to see is that maybe we've gotten to the place where our hypothesis has been shown to be repeated to be true in experiments. And then what we want to think about is we want to think about what to do next. So what would we want to do next? What would be the next issue or next thing that is going to relate to this challenge or problem? We're going to see it's going to cascade forward in the semester. So if this gives you a good idea of what we're going to be doing, welcome you to Chapman if you're a first time here at Chapman. But this is going to be an exciting and great time as we get to have some really good hands-on experience looking at a bunch of different chemical problems or chemical techniques or different things that we're going to do in lab.